Hey guys, ECRG here. Today we've got a very good video for you guys. We're talking about onboarding and new job training. Hey guys, ECRG here. We've got a very interesting video for you today. Onboarding and new job training. Now, onboarding is typically what happens when you go to a new company for the first time and they are acclimating you to the company's ways and culture. So they're going to sit you down. Usually they're going to have a group of people depending on the size of the company, and they're primarily going to tell you about, get your computer, tell you how to log into the computer and all the systems that you're going to be using. Maybe give you some new company swag like a shirt or something. And they're just going to be giving you overall intro to the company. They're going to talk to you about the history of the company and things of that nature. Maybe talk to you about different departments and things like that. Talk to you about different policies, harassment policy, the electronics policy, and things of that nature. That's onboarding. Now, there's going to be a whole separate thing where they train you, or at least most big companies who have a thorough infrastructure for this. They're going to have an onboarding start, and then they're going to have a training part where they train you about the job itself that you're going to be doing. So I first got my start in an entry-level project management position in clinical research. So they had their own separate training, which wasn't that good. But the reason why I wanted to do this video today is because when you do a different job, when you apply and successfully get a different job, there's going to be a whole new training process that occurs at a good company with a robust training infrastructure. So it is very interesting to see how they differ from when you first get started in the industry versus when you, move up in a new training. So there's a complete training program for certain positions. And in particular, this one, in-house CRA, there's a whole different training program that is way more robust and way more resource intensive for the company. It's crazy how sometimes companies don't train their entry-level employees as much. They don't put as much into them, but as soon as you move up, they're put more and more into you. So, this training is 8 weeks long. Just become an in-house CRA, and you would think that you wouldn't need that much time to train if you are already working in the company, because there's a lot of overlap with what you already know. A lot of the systems are the same. You know how to log into your computer. You know how to use the computer well. It's pretty much just on the job, actually doing the job. So you could pretty much jump in right now, shadow some people and get started that way. So it's very interesting how companies are willing to put more resources into you after you've been in the company for a while. And maybe that's just an old mentality. I think it's interesting play, because obviously companies need people that are trained and are able to do the job. But in an industry like clinical research, where the turnover is so high, people could, just take the training and then go jump for a much better job that pays much higher. So it's a risk reward, but obviously from the company's perspective, you need competent people to do the job. But it's just interesting how some don't put as much emphasis in the entry level role, the training wise, when the least amount about clinical research. So you look out for that as you guys level up in your chosen field, specifically in clinical research. Look for those training opportunities and look for the company to really use those resources that they have and put them into you in a training capacity. So that's very interesting. Make sure you use that to your advantage. And another thing that's very interesting about the training is when you first start in the industry, a lot of the training is going to be online. Some is going to be in person, but a lot of it is going to be online. I know during my first job training that a whole lot of it was online, hours and hours and hours of training online. But this next set of training is for in-house CRA is, it's a combination of in-person and online. And And there's going to be shadowing opportunities that you have to do to make sure that you're capable of doing the job. So it's just amazing how much more intense there is. And I'm going to go through it right now. So, I mean, I pretty much get a few weeks off to train from the job. You know, it's very relaxing. You don't have to go into work. It's pretty much work from home. You do the training from home. And, you know, that's just what it is. So they're doing that. They clear your schedule. You're allowed, you know, they clear your schedule. You're not in there working on your old projects that you were doing. Your schedule is totally cleared off. There's training in the middle of the week, a few hours each day, or a few hours a couple of days, not even every day. The other days are just there for you to train and do your online training. But there's live training in the middle of the week. So then that happens for a couple weeks. And then the remainder of the time, the next 4 to 6 weeks or so, you're in the office, but you're not going to be on specific projects yet. You're going to be in there training with people by hand, you know, person to person training. And then hopefully, getting to try to, do any of the visits, the remote visits or anything like that. So it's a very extensive process. I'm very impressed with how people tend to train on this. And it just goes to show, I mean, even for other positions like project manager or, I don't know any more positions where the training is, but I know for project manager, because I was on that side of things in clinical operations, the training seems to be pretty robust. And of course you need strong, good project managers on studies because they pretty much run the whole show. And of course you need good monitors on studies as well, because they have to be signed off by the sponsor. They have to be approved by the sponsor to even work on the study. So you want to make sure you have competent individuals and competent folks working on the study and really leading the charge there. So, I'm just very thankful that companies decide to put as much training as they do into the employees. I'm not so sure that every other company does this, but for you guys out there who are looking to get into a training program, make sure you try your hardest, because they really are going to put as much as they can into you and put as many resources as they can into the training program to make sure it's worth your while and worth the company's while as well. So hope that was informative video. I want to talk a little bit about onboarding versus new job training when you first get in, but also new job training as you level up through the years in the company and how that changes. So this was just a little slice from my viewfinder on new job training, but hope this was informative for you guys. Thank you guys for listening. As always, email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. Email us if you want us to review your resume or whatever. You can become a part of that program. Email us if you'd like to advertise with us, etc., etc. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Subscribe as always. And that's it for today's video. Take care.